Welcome to Port Royal. This is a recreation of an early 17th century French settlement. This is a recreation of the old forge. We learned that back in the time of this old settlement, a locksmith made more money than a surgeon, which shows the value of this profession. This is the kitchen where the meals were prepared, and kids are able to turn the spit. We learned that moose meat and a beaver's tail were delicacies.
What they would have done was, instead of having a cotton paper or a wood paper, they would have taken just the scraps from linen like this. So this is a linen shirt, or they would have pretty much worn a lot of linen back in the day. And so any scraps from the tailor would have been taken and put into water, usually hot water actually, so that it would sort of boil it and then sort of start to disintegrate it. So it would be a long process of sort of sitting it in barrels for a very long time and letting it sort of decompose a little bit, and then they would take wire brushes and they would sort of pull apart the fibers to create a pulp, and that pulp is what they would turn into paper. So this would be a cotton pulp, which would be a very similar process to that, except you'd be using cotton instead of linen, and same as wood as well, where you would sort of grind it up until it's a very mushy mixture, and then you would use that to make your paper.
This was one of 4 gentlemen's quarters. This was the room of the apothecary. It provided much more comfort than the room above the artisan's room, which were bunk beds. Even though these gentlemen's quarters were supposed to provide a lot more comfort at the time, that was 400 years ago. I don't think today we would find this very comfortable at all. In fact, when I try to lie down, I would have to put my feet up the wall. The Mi'kmaq people traded furs with the French. This is what they traded for. I'm standing in what's considered the finest gentleman's quarter. Behind me is a replica of a moose skin decorated by the Mi'kmaq. The French admired the Mi'kmaq artwork so much they used them as tapestries. We took a stop to have lunch along Digby Harbor. It's a real working harbor with world-famous scallops. On our way to the Argyler Lodge, we decided to stop at the Cape Fortune lighthouse, which we had seen from the Cat Ferry on the way in. We're ending our holiday here tonight at the Argyler Lodge in southern Nova Scotia. For those of you that have been following our journey from Bar Harbor to Nova Scotia to PEI, thanks so much for following along. You can watch some of our videos on Facebook, and you can also follow us on YouTube on our channel Explore Bear.